Dr. David R. Hawkins, the psychiatrist who did a lot of consciousness research, said in one of his books that the collective consciousness of humanity, that's all 7 billion humans put together collectively, on the scale of human consciousness, which runs from 1, the consciousness of an amoeba, which is a one-celled organism that you might find in a pond. 1 is an amoeba, 1,000 is a Buddha. It's a logarithmic scale. If you remember logarithms from high school, probably a lot of you don't, but it means instead of going up 1 point on the scale, bringing you to 2, 1 point on the scale brings you to 10, from 1 to 10. So remember that, it's exponential logarithmic scale. And 207 is what Dr. Hawkins said all of humans put together are at. Is that a good number? No, it's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. If you look at the scale of human consciousness, and then you see that's where humans are, I don't know what else to tell you. Look at the scale. 207 is where all of this, all put together, is 207. Kind of averaged out, I suppose. It's never going to be love at first sight for any of these humans that are I guess I'm taking a mental break because Dr. Hawkins wrote a lot of books and he's made a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm very familiar with his work. And you probably never heard of the guy. So, this is what we're at. Somebody wants to know what is the state of planet Earth. It's basically the same as it has been since 1987. Before 1987, humans actually had a lower calibrated level of consciousness collectively. I just don't have anything to say. I'm terribly sorry. I just don't have anything to say. Um, if someone asks me a question, the question is get yourself involved with helping people raise their consciousness. Help them getting into a state of flow. What is a state of flow? It's like what Olympic athletes say their performances are. They're in flow. Not any mental chatter going on. They're just, it's like Zen. Somebody would say it's Zen. They just do it. They just do it. They're not thinking about doing it. They're just doing it. 207, it's not flow. It's not Zen. It's barely above monkey. And a lot of humans are under 200, which is in the realm of scorpions. So, and to get a scorpion to change, no, they're not interested in change. They enjoy being a scorpion. So you can't raise the consciousness of someone who's at 6 on the scale of human consciousness. You can't. You can't do anything for those people. Those people you have to actually protect yourself from because they're quite likely to assassinate you. So the people who have the best open mindedness to even hearing the words raising your consciousness are not going to be those scorpion people. Are they a write off? Well, a long time ago in a video, I talked about the journey of the light worker, and the job of the light worker was to help raise the vibration of other people. And I said in the video, you use triage. In other words, you look at the group of people that you're exposed to, and just like doctors in the emergency room, you look at which ones need your help most. And from my perspective, the scorpion at 7, he's dangerous. I said he, but it could be a she. Dangerous, like physically dangerous. And I don't want to get anywhere near someone whose calibrated level of consciousness is 7. So the people who are most likely to be open to raising their consciousness, I don't know. Dr. Hawkins said that people in the 400s are very difficult people to help getting them to raise their vibration. Because people in the 400s are very intellectual. Intellectual to the point where that's as far as they're going to go. Dr. Hawkins said that intellectuals in the 400s would be what we would consider to be very smart people at university who go on to graduate studies. They'd be people who are known as being scientists. And he says those people are really tough. So I'm going to say people probably in the 200s and 300s on the scale of consciousness are pretty good people to go after because they don't have the rigid intellectual opinions of people in the 400s. That's the problem. The person who's in the 400s is a know-it-all intellectually. What is really higher than 400 on the scale of human consciousness? Spirit is, and a person in the 400s is probably an atheist. Doesn't believe anything spiritual whatsoever. It's garbage. And the example they would point to, maybe televangelists. In other words, my idea of religion is when I turn on the television and I've got somebody there who's the old time gospel hour or some other televangelist program, and it's cloying. It's the same somebody knows the Gospels off by heart. But to my intellectual mind, they're mental midgets. Sure, they're good at memorizing this stuff, but they spew nothing but garbage. That's the view of someone in the 400s. So, someone in the 200s is at the level of courage, which means that they have done some spiritual work. In order to get over 200, you have to basically have courage. Courage to let go of the lower states of consciousness, which are highly negative. And people in the 300s are kind of, they're not intellectual. They're somebody who would fix your air conditioner. And in other words, they're technicians. They took technical college and they know how to fix things. So those people are not bound by rigid intellectual opinions. They know if they want to fix their air conditioner, they can, open up a technical manual and it's going to tell them what to do. And if they want to raise the consciousness on the planet, well, they might be open to reading a book on the subject. So if you're a light worker, those would be people I would say you could look at as potentially being open to you helping them raise their consciousness. The only way you're going to know if someone is vibrating at a higher level of consciousness is through muscle testing. That's all. And you do it yourself. You have to learn how to muscle test, and that will give you your own number, which is far better than somebody else's number, because why trust them if you can do it yourself? So if you get one of Dr. Hawkins' books, at the back there's always an appendix that describes how to do muscle testing. You can also look online on YouTube, but it's not how Dr. Hawkins did it. And I'm going to go with Dr. Hawkins because he is unbelievably well-versed in consciousness research. Whereas somebody that you get on YouTube, I have no idea where they learned how to do this muscle testing and what they did with it. Another thing you need to know is anyone who is not in integrity, in essence, everyone who calibrates under 200 on the scale of human consciousness, they cannot muscle test accurately because they just don't have any integrity. In other words, everyone under 200 on the scale of human consciousness is a bloody liar. And they have no intention of changing their lying, cheating ways, because that's the way they are. It's a wonder anyone ever gets over 200 because they live a lie all the time. Moving along, if you want to get into a state of flow, perhaps what you need to do is go and meet an Olympic athlete and listen to what they have to say. Because if they placed in the Olympics, they were in flow. I mean, maybe they didn't win the gold medal, but if they were actually in the Olympics, they went to the Olympics, they're Olympian, they had certainly the capability of being an elite athlete, and elite athletes are in flow. You might say, well, that's fine and dandy, but I'm not athletic. You should still go and listen to the Olympic person so you can get an idea what it's like to be in flow. And maybe you won't use it physically, but maybe you'll use it going around in your car from your home to your office to your customer or something. But you can pick up things, and the only way you're going to learn truthfully is to talk to someone who's already been there. Or you could sit and meditate for a very long time. You could go to a meditation retreat for 2 weeks and do nothing but meditate. That would help you. Would that get you in flow? I'm going to bet it would. I'm going to bet that if you went for 2 weeks to a Vipassana insight meditation retreat, after 2 weeks of you doing nothing but meditating, you're going to be changed. You got 2 weeks this year, 2 weeks vacation. It's free to go. It's a pay it forward kind of thing. You go, it's free lodging, free food, free tea, free teaching. And at the end of 2 weeks, if you're capable of paying it forward, then you can donate to the center that's hosted you. And if you don't have the money, then you got it for free. So, did I go? I didn't go to one of these meditation centers. I rented an apartment and I stayed by myself for a whole summer. It was longer than 2 weeks, and basically I did nothing but be by myself. Was it meditation? Yes, it was meditation, and looking after myself. But that's what it was. So you can say, yes, you've got a long time meditator here. So, you can get certain ideas from me, but I can't pass on my summer of meditation to you by you watching this video. I can give you some information. Really, no way you can get the benefit of my meditation without you meditating too.